No matter where you go, no matter what you do, take that Maui style with you. Cause if you ain't Maui styling, you just living on an island. Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 There is sunshine in your heart. It's been with you from the start. Lift your head, look to the heavens, then you will feel brand new again. Don't stop me now, Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Reach out your hand and help each other. Your mother, your father, your sister and brother. There is love in this family. Pick yourself up and get on your feet. Don't stop me now, Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Makena styling, up country styling, Campo styling, Kahanapali styling, Hana styling, Wai'ehu styling, Paia styling, Keanai styling. Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Maui styling, Maui styling, don't stop me now. Maui styling.
Aloha! Welcome to another Up Close and Personal here in 2008. We're sitting right in front of something that, if you haven't seen it, it's at the Maui Arts and Cultural Center down near the Alexa Higashi room. We have a great view, but we have a great view behind us. This is a piece that was done by Ben Kikuyama and Bill Little. It's made of mild steel. It was done in 1994, and it's called Friendship. And we like being in front of it. You know, the Maui Arts and Cultural Center is a great place to do this. You probably are looking and saying, I know this guy, why don't you tell me who this is? Some of you know. John Blumer-Buell. Now, I wanted to be careful with your name because sometimes I get a little confused, but John is from Hana, and he has the great distinction of running in the State Senate District number
6.
Number 6. The number isn't important, as is the name. John Blumer-Buell, you're running for state senate from what areas? You have a remote area there.
Well, it's all of East Maui and upcountry, and Lanai, Molokai, and Koho'olawe.
So it's a pretty good sized district, and it's rural, I guess.
Absolutely.
And I guess it's what everyone comes to Maui for. How are we doing in the keeping it rural department?
Well, like all of Maui County, we've had a lot of development issues, and you know, our whole district over the last 30 plus years, and we're doing our best to resolve them. I'm working on all those issues as a member of the Maui General Plan Advisory Committee right now. There's 24 other members, and I think we're doing a good job in taking a long-term look at the future planning needs for Maui County.
She just wanted to come and be part of our show. So I would say that you've been doing this now 3 years, right? There are 25 of you brave and dedicated warriors. Is it 25 of you?
Yeah, 25, and it's a very diverse group of people, and they have a very diverse group, very diverse experience in life. So I think it's a very good committee. It's balanced, and I've gotten to meet and know a little better a lot of great people in our community.
Do you find that some or many of them are active serving politicians or citizens at large?
I think it's lots of the people have previously served on the community plans, and we're part of those, and even going back to the previous general plan, we have people that are in agriculture, people that are in development, contractors, retired professors, architects, cultural resource folks, and it's a great group of people.
Well, how long? You have a little bit. A little bit of time. Gladys Beisel was talking about how it's coming up soon. Do you have deadlines coming up soon?
I believe we're going to get an extension through the end of February. And then from there, we'll go to the Maui Planning Commission. They'll come up with their recommendations, and then it'll go to the Planning Committee, which Gladys Beisel currently chairs. And from there, it will go to the full council.
Is it very different? I mean, how many years? It's been a good 20 years, easy?
Well, the last general plan was around 1990, and so we're updating that and looking far into the future. After the general plan is complete, we'll start doing the individual community plans again, and I look forward to that and really letting the community say what they want specifically for their communities. Really, this will be the best chance to have real local control of planning and land use issues. And I think at this day and age, it's very important for places like Haiku or Hana or Molokai or Lanai or any of the districts to really have their very specific wishes included in those community plans. And according to the state law, the county can be more restrictive but not less restrictive than the state laws, and as communities we can be more restrictive but not less restrictive than the county. So in some areas like Molokai and I think East Maui, we want some very tightly controlled land use laws, and local control is what we need.
Well, that's a good thing. When I think about your area, you have upcountry. Upcountry has some development things going on. Do you deal with the water issue from up where you're on this general plan? I imagine you do.
Water is one of the central concerns for the entire plan and future of Maui. I've been involved in water issues in East Maui for more than 30 years, and as you probably know, a couple weeks ago the State Water Commission ordered that I believe it's 12 million gallons be put back into 5 water units, they call them. And that's a good start, and the people in Kenai Wailuanui and the Native Hawaiian Legal Corporation really deserve a lot of credit for their persistence. They've put a stop to more than 100 years of I would call it injustice, and we were taking a step in the right direction.
So they're getting water back. That's great.
Just in 5 of the units, there's a total of 27 streams that will need to be dealt with. They have a formula by which they understand, let's say some of them are diverted in 4 or 5 different places along the elevations of the stream. The Commission understands the need to have a continuous flow from Mauka to Makai for the stream life and to help with the estuaries and reefs. So that will be that's a central part of the formula. I think one thing they need to look at in the future as this evolves and there's more water going into the streams is what is the temperature when it goes into the oceans. The temperature of the water in the lo'i's is the key to healthy taro and disease-free taro. So they haven't made that a part of the requirement at this point. But
some of you guys know what we're talking about, and I don't even know if all these guys know what Lohi is. You know, this is what I see right here. Here's a man who's been looking and studying this stuff for a long time and helping locally and really been a fabric of the community, and I'm really glad you've helped keep Hana and that area beautiful and natural as best you can. What has driven you to want to run for political office? I mean, clearly you've been in touch with these issues and you are now. That's great. What's got you thinking you want to run for state senate?
Well, I first ran for office 2 years ago as a candidate for mayor, and there were 9 candidates. We had 4 incumbent politicians who were running, including former Mayor Kimo Apana, then Mayor Alan Arakawa, Charmaine Tavares, and former Council Chair Dane Connie. Now, I enjoyed that race, and I had a lot of ideas that I thought were not being discussed, and I participated in that. I think really raised the level of discussion, and I did win the East Maui district in the primary, which was real nice because people know what I've been doing out there. And
that's a real strong testament. That's great.
So at this point, I would not be running for office again if I did not have real differences of opinion with the incumbent. So I have very different opinions on a number of very important issues, and I'm giving the voters a choice, and I'm hopefully making the discussion more meaningful with all these issues and presenting options to the voters.
Would you mind, let's kind of identify them, because I'm sure that'll help make it clear and hopefully a choice that people can make. Is it an actual difference in opinion in how it's being done or what's to be done? Or give us an example, can you?
I'll give you several examples. One is, I would say is a good example, is the proposed Malulani Hospital in South Maui. And I was a longtime supporter of that proposal. I had talked with Dr. Kwan about that. That was going to be a $200 million hospital financed with private investment. And the team of Maui senators, which include my opponent, really obstructed the Certificate of Need process, and basically it was killed off by our legislative people over here. Now,
that's a strong word, obstructed. Do you feel that he could have done something more meaningful? Or?
Well, I was there was 2 days of hearings at Baldwin High School regarding the Certificate of Need. I was at the first day of hearings. I couldn't come out for the second one, but Roz Baker was really in the lead on this, insisting that we needed more information, and that led to the Maui Healthcare Task Force, and they came up with a number of initiatives which in the last legislature didn't get either a fair hearing or financing. So that's just one example of difference of opinion. Right now in the construction industry is hurting. We could have already broken ground on a $200 million privately financed hospital that would have benefited everyone. Now, another important issue is right in Hana, and that's what's going on at Hana Health, which is the former state-owned and operated Hana Medical Center. I helped with the transition from the state to the community starting in 1993, working with Barbara Pearson from the State Department of Health and Kathleen Street, our public health nurse in Hana. And the Community Association helped facilitate a number of meetings. Great process. The community came up with a great plan, and that was signed by Harry Hasegawa in 1995, submitted to Dr. Meike of the State Department of Health. The legislature in 1996 used that document, which was called Ho'oku'ikahi, to transfer the old Hana Medical Center to the community, to a nonprofit membership organization called Hana Community Health Center. And that was a 501c3. We had 300 members, and without any discussion with the membership, in early 1998, the board of directors abolished extinguished all the 300 community members without even a hearing.
Extinguished what?
The membership, they basically voted as a board to extinguish the membership. And so that what they...
So there was no medical coverage?
No, there's no membership, meaning that the key there is that the membership elected the board of directors.
Oh, so they just basically got rid of the people that elected them. And
right.
Suddenly we're now a different autonomous group.
Right, and the very people that the community had trusted as a board of directors didn't trust the community, is what it boiled down to. So there's a zoning issue up with this organization right now in front of the Land Use Committee, Mike Molina's committee, and one of the basic things that we need to resolve, I think, is to reinstate the community membership and have a community elected board of directors. Then we will start to move in the direction that the community intended. The vision of the community included Hui no Ke Olopono, Ohana Makamai, Halehulu Mamo, who's working on a Kapuna housing right now, and it was really going to be a community center. Hui no Ke Olopono would have shared things like x-ray machines in the pharmacy with the general clinic. So the community had a wonderful and great vision, and I'm hoping that we can come back together and implement that. Unfortunately, the state is, and everybody's out of money right now, so we don't know what will happen in the future.
So once again, you obviously brought that up because was there a difference in your opinion than your sitting representative, or what?
Yeah, in 1995, Kalani English called me as the chair of the Hana Community Association to help facilitate a meeting with State Senator Avery Chumley. And Kalani was the chief of staff for Avery Chumley at that time. So we were working closely together at that time. And, you know, the Community Association facilitated the meeting. I chaired the meeting. There was probably 250, 300 people at the meeting, all the elected representatives. So at that point, we were in agreement. And then since it was privatized, Kalani has really not stood up for the community and the community plan, which the community generated. So at this point, we're on completely different sides. He could have used his position to strongly encourage the existing board at Hana Health to reinstate the membership, bring the community back in, and most importantly, improve primary health care and medical services. Now it's a $26 to $52 million health and wellness village that looks like a hotel and spa, and it's going to be going into competition with the Hotel Hana Maui, and that's just not right. That's the largest employer in our community, and we shouldn't be taking taxpayer money and funding a nonprofit organization to go into competition with a privately financed hotel.
Wow, those are pretty significant things. So the fact that you won the primary for mayor, do you feel it was somehow tied to your differences of opinion and you want to carry that to yet another level, or what's your intention?
Well, the reason I'm running is I do have a difference of opinions, and I would like to do more for the community. I think the legislature is a good place to do that. I'm qualified to be there, and I'm just hoping to do more than I've been able to do by working within the community. I mean, people out there know that I've been involved in, I was a founding member of the East Maui Tarot Festival, Hui La Lima Ohana, which is our dialysis support group, the Kipahulu Ohana, Mama Omolea, and a number of organizations. I've been involved with the Hana Community Association. Parley Kanaka Oli and I were the community representatives in a contested case hearing over Kuhiva Well in the early 90s. That issue is coming back around again. And so, people know what I've been doing out there, and it's basically it's to be of service. I'm clearly not a politician. So,
yeah, you have a great base of knowledge, and I imagine applying that knowledge in that role could educate a lot of people, and your very presence and experience offers something greatly needed, I think, in our legislature.
Well, I think it's important to say that I am running as an independent candidate, and I really do not like the divisions that we have amongst the parties. In other words, Republicans, Independents, Democrats, Libertarians, and so forth. So one of the things that I would pledge to do in the legislature is forget about party lines. Things are too serious not to just sit down as people, as community members, and work things out. It is possible, and that's what I'd like to do. The other thing that I think is real important is that on the campaign trail, I hear that people would like to see more of their elected representatives, particularly on Molokai and other places. So, you know, I'm making a pledge to the people of Molokai to be on their island at least once a month if I'm elected. They have a quickly evolving situation regarding the future of their island, and they will need all the help they can get to make it work for the community. Now, one issue I'd like to mention is I'm very much for local control of communities. I support a state constitutional amendment to allow communities or districts to incorporate as cities or municipalities or new counties. So this is an issue I would like to see passed so an area like Molokai or East Maui or West Big Island and East Big Island would have the opportunity as residents to decide should they incorporate and become their own
In that
districts.
incorporation, the monies that are collected would be differently doled out for services. That would happen? What would that be doing?
Well, the main thing is if that's there as a tool for the communities, then I've recommended that the threshold for the community to say yes to a proposal like that should be at least 75%. It needs to be a very high threshold. And it has to be done with a large information base. In other words, with Molokai, if they decide to become their own county, they will understand that they will need to generate their own revenues as a county. They won't be getting county revenues from the rest of the district. They will continue to be able to get state and federal money. So in any sort of a planning scenario, whether it be East Maui or Molokai, people really need to be aware of our potential revenue base, how many people we've got to employ. Well, the Hana Highway would probably come into the to the district as part of the transition from the county to a new county. We'd have the ability to have a toll road and an information booth to generate revenues. This is another thing that you know, we need to have a state amendment to the Constitution to make initiative and referendum more available to the voters. There's so many good ideas, and they're being suppressed. Let me say it again, they're being suppressed because of the very high thresholds in terms of number of voters that you need to get to sign a petition to get it on the ballot. I've worked for at least 15 years with the Committee for More Equitable Taxation. Bill Tavares founded that. He Bill's from Kuau, and we've done some great things. But we tried to get a tax reform measure on the ballot 2 years ago. Could not successfully get the required number of signatures. Now, the threshold was really prohibitively high. So my feeling is that if you can get, you know, we could talk about it and probably agree, maybe 3,000, maybe 4,000 signatures, then the voters should be able to decide on an initiative measure. And I think it's very important because our, you know, the county council and the legislative branch and even are just not working as quickly and creatively as the communities are. So this is a chance for the communities to actually, in effect, legislate things that would be good for the community, and they'd be able to vote on them. We wouldn't have to wait year after year.
I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, well, you need your own show, because you have you have you know, a base of information that can be helpful in office and out of office. So you've been doing this for 35 years. What were you doing, or are you doing concurrently? I imagine if you're not a paid administrator, you obviously have been involved, heavily involved for a long time. What do you do? What are your passions? And what do you do for a livelihood, unless you're just independently wealthy, which tell us how.
I'm certainly not independently wealthy, but I was hired to come to Hana around 35 years ago by John C. Elliott, and he's former ambassador to American Samoa. And we just met in California, and I was have been into plants at that time, bromeliads and tillandsias at that time, and John he's deceased at this point, but is one of the most incredible amateur botanists probably in the whole world. And so he was kind enough to offer me a job. About 4 months later, we came over, and John arranged for a house and a Land Rover and so forth. And we agreed to work for. I agreed to work for a few months, and Hana turned out to be the perfect place for a guy that loves gardening.
Yeah.
So since then, my wife came over with me. We had we came to a ahupua'a named Mualea, which is between Hana and Kipahulu. So we've been in the same house for the entire time we've been here. We had 2 children born at home in that house that were raised in Mualea and attended and graduated from Hana School. They're both adults at this point. And so, we've been, I worked in the gardening and landscaping and property management for decades, and planted lots of orchards for people and really worked in that field. I've been gardening organically for nearly 40 years, so that's my background. And at this point, because my wife works at Hana School, it has given me some time to spend more time, working on community issues. So I want to say mahalo to my wife Crystal for her good work at Hana School. And
thanks for freeing them up.
Yeah, and it's she's a great teacher, and
that's wonderful. There's
many great teachers at Hana School, but this the fact that she continues to work with the kids, which she loves to do, is making it possible for me to run at this point. So,
what other issues come to mind that you'd like to share, or important that you want to communicate with people? Now, this district is up country. That means Makawao, as far as Makawao even?
Yes.
So Makawao, Pukalani, and coming on down to Paia.
Ulapalakua, Haiku.
All the way over there, okay.
Yeah.
Ulapalakula too. And then all the way across, and then down to East Maui and the whole backside of Kaupo and everything. Wow, that's a big and important district. It's, I don't think of it as the big revenue producer, but maybe I guess it is fairly significant. But it sure is the reason that people come here. It's the beautiful, lush side. How's the water going on there? Are they having a shortage up country water? Any thoughts on reservoirs? And Hannibal Tavares used to kid with me. He was jealous of Molokai because they had a big reservoir. You have any thoughts about water up country?
Absolutely. We need, when we have our rainy seasons here, we need to be filling up tens of millions, hundreds of millions of gallons of reservoirs, and we have rain coming here. And that is compatible with the state water use, the state water code, which there is a public trust is an important part of that. So people have asked me, well, where are we going to get the revenue to build all these reservoirs with tight economic times? And the answer is simple. Hawaii Cane and Sugar and EMI have been getting water for less than market value, less than agricultural market value. Now listen to this. They have paid less than a penny per 1,000 gallons for the water that they have, I think, illegally diverted from East Maui. The market rate for agricultural water is probably between $1 and $1.50 at this point. So the sugar industry has been getting not only federal subsidies, but it's been getting water subsidies at the cost of farmers in East Maui. So they need to pay their fair share. I'm a big supporter of the sugarcane folks making a transition into low water use plants for biofuels. That is certainly on the horizon.
Zotropa, have you looked at that?
I'm aware of the plant, but I haven't looked at the specifics of that. And
I think it's something like 1,800 liters of fuel in a hectare. I was just reading. I'm sure it translates into our denominations. But there are some amazing things to be able to grow our fuel.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
And the people growing the cane right now, I'm a big supporter of massive tax credits for the research and development of these new crops. So, we're not, we have to make a transition away from agribusiness into more sensible crops for the long term. And there's a lot of people, and a lot of very good people, that want to help with that. And we understand the need to balance the demands by, for the employees at HC&S and the people of East Maui. And things are just totally out of balance at this point. And so we need to establish that balance. And, we can do a lot of that through the legislature. And a part of that is, is to communicate with people better than it's being done. When I went to the water hearing in Haiku a couple of weeks ago, it's really it's sad to see all the sugarcane workers sitting there in the red T-shirts and kind of groups pitted against each other. It's not really right. I mean, we love the people that work in the sugarcane fields, and we're not out to eliminate their jobs. We want to evolve to the logical place where they'll have full employment and full benefits, and we just have to be more sensible about this. We're really going to run into a brick wall with the way we're managing our water and our watersheds. Now, the last thing, I'm also a big advocate of the County of Maui and OHA, other interested parties, taking complete control of the East Maui watersheds, the West Maui watersheds. They should not be controlled by private entities. They are by law a public resource, and we need to start managing them that way. And it'll be better for everybody. Yeah.
Well, I'm, like I said, I think you need your own show, because just in each issue that we're talking about, you have such a depth of experience that you obviously want to use. You've been putting your testimony out. Do you feel that you can have more effect as a serving, I don't want to say a serving politician, but I wonder, I sometimes wonder where I can have the greatest impact. Because you have obviously tremendous experience, and that's great serving us on the general plan. And yes, having a vote towards some kind of group and putting legislation is giving you a different feeling. Have you run before? I know you ran for mayor. I've seen your name and I've seen you active for so long.
Well, that's the only other time that I've run. But, I think it's important to, I'm offering myself to serve in the legislature as a resource and to try to bring people together. And believe me, I know a lot of people that are just absolutely sick with the political system, whether it's locally or nationally or internationally. It's a terrible situation. I'm someone that has chosen to actively participate in the system, and we lose issues over and over and over, and yet we're making a difference in the long run. A lot of the ideas that I was talking about 25, 30 years ago are now coming into more public understanding. A lot of people understood sustainable living and the population problems and the lack of unlimited natural resources, decades ago. And it's nothing new, but it's now getting into more people are getting educated, and Lord knows we need all the help we can get to come together and not have this planet destroy itself. It's that critical. And last thing, the people that I see that have dropped away from the political system a lot of them are making a big difference. Somebody that's dedicated to an idea of growing a fruit orchard, or to some idea that they're just devoted to music or anything like that, that they're very single-minded in their approach to something. I understand why people would want to do that and why they just want to focus on one thing. That's very constructive. But at the same time, please take about a half an hour every 2 years to get informed as much as you can and vote. You know, you don't have to be there all the time, but get informed and vote. And
I think that many people, if they have an open forum, like a place that they can share their ideas, like this. I mean, how many people get a chance to sit and spend time in this kind of environment like we have? You may well already know, when I came here, I got here in '88. You were already here a while, but yeah, I was on that same runway trying to take off on the environmental thing. That's how the Maui Arts and Music Association got created, and that's been our mission statement: self-sustainability modeling, promoting art, music, and culture. It's like, I find, I was talking to a young guy in Oahu who was telling me now the Hawaiians are looking to do the same thing. It's like, we all are so aware. It's time to put it into our system where people can feel like they can be involved all the time. And we can affect positive change. Like, I'm hoping to do it through my nonprofit with the Maui Arts and Music Association. Some people choose a political route. So many important things. I firstly want to thank you for all the time and energy and all that you've put in, because I don't know if you're going to get enough, praise, but praise is what you need, because you've been holding a banner a long time. And I'm happy to come along afterward, and like I said, I always think I'm an original thought. Some of the people that are in there now in politics, but you've been doing it a long time. You've really been holding down the fort. Now you've saved a good area over here. Now I think that I'm just really glad to see that you're out. I really very happy to see you.
I think maybe you're giving me too much credit, but I think we're people that try to do good things with their lives, and that includes you. I know all of your music experience and so forth. That's we don't do it for credit or whatever. We want the world to be better, and we have to actively participate if we want to make things better.
I just know that when we have a show like this, people may not have ever had an opportunity to sit and share with you. And I just want you to know it's much appreciated.
Okay, mahalo. Can I say what?
Of course you can.
I forgot to mention I have a website, and that's a good place if you're really interested in reading more of my thoughts and so forth. And that is www.jbb4senate.com.
JBB, the number 4?
Yes.
Senate.com.
Right, and we have a nice website, and I have posted a lot of information, enough information for people to see what a lot of my ideas are. And people are welcome to call me directly or email me. And I've gotten some very interesting calls from voters during this campaign. So it's people are welcome to call me, and you don't have to agree with me to discuss an idea.
Well, I think the more we discuss, the more we find we agree. It's just we talk in different terms. I always thought when I was running as a Green, I just felt I wanted to be like you are, independent, take all the good ideas and work them all together, and not be divisive and separating, and come together as a community. And I'm really thinking that's the direction we're coming. It's funny, now it's necessity that's pushing us, where cooperation could have been long ago. We could have been self-sustainable all along the way. We still can, but it's unbelievable.
Absolutely. And remember, it's really very instructive to remember where we're living on these islands out in the middle of an ocean. The native Hawaiians were self-sufficient here. So there's really a lot to think about with what they did. They lived very simply and provided for their needs and had a flourishing culture. They had, you know, it's worth thinking about. There were people that lived on these islands for a long time, very sustainably, and now people want to get back to that idea. And that's why one of the reasons that I'm a advocate of the Ahupua'a system, which is basically the Native Hawaiian land management system. And I'm also a big supporter of the Aha Moku Council idea, and that's basically an extension of the old Konahiki system, where, you know, Ahupua'a is basically a division of land. And in the old, you know, in previous times, you had people that lived within those land divisions that had extraordinary knowledge about those areas.
Right.
They were the people that made the decisions regarding land management in those areas, and that was a very sensible way to do things. Now, it's interesting, in places like Hana in East Maui, we have lots of the lineal descendants are still there. One of the groups that I work with, Namama Umolea, 2/3 of the board is made up of lineal descendants of the original grantees of Muolea. So that's, and I'm sure this is true on Molokai and other places, but, you know, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We need to pay more attention to the knowledge that's already there and is available to us. And I think we have to really understand that, you know, that living simply is a good thing, you know.
You know, it's funny. I am so comfortable in talking with you. I feel like I'm kind of looking in the mirror. You got a little more hair than me now. It's good. You know, we're looking ahead of us. We're doing this at the Maui Arts and Cultural Center, and as we're coming to a close on the show, here come all these kids, and I look at our future, and I know there's great hope if we all embrace that concept. Sometimes it's the old and the new that come together, you know. The simple can be very effective, and
I would like to say one thing, seeing all these kids pouring out of the Castle Theater. And that's, my wife and I talk about education a lot. I mean, just about every day, because there's so many issues. And the thing that always comes up over and over is how important it is for the parent, your kids, and to get involved in their lives from infancy and read to them and interact with them and teach them what you know. There is so much knowledge in Hana, for example, and the cultural knowledge does get passed on, but people need to really work with their kids and read to them and spend time with them. This is the only way we're going to have a better future. Don't expect the teachers at the schools to do all the work. They're your kids. And it's all of our future. So we'll be,
right.
You know.
It's interesting, you know, we have MAMA, Maui Arts and Music Association, but we also have PAPA, People Aligned in Positive Action, Participatory Action People. You know, that's what we are going to do. By doing this together, we have all the answers. I mean, that's our greatest resource. There are so many kids here. I didn't know they could stick that many people in this building. All short people. Well, a few taller ones.
Can I share something with your viewers? I just remembered I had this. I brought this over. We're having tonight a forum with the Native Hawaiian Chamber of Commerce this evening, and everyone will be there. And I brought over a banana from our garden.
Pick it up a little bit so we can see it. There it is. Look at that.
This is a single banana. This is a native variety called the huamoa, which means chicken egg. And these are very short and extremely fat. This is kind of a small one. Some of them will be as big as your fist. And they produce a pretty good...
for cooking, or they eat them?
We like to use them for cooking, but there's some people that enjoy them as just to let them get ripe and eat them that way. We like to, if you just steam them, it's a popo'ulu kind of banana, so if you just steam it, it's going to be very sweet. Just with steaming it, the natural sugars are in there. You can wait till it gets very ripe, take the peel off, slice it up, fry it in butter. And the first time I had it, Kay Kepler, who's a a great botanist, prepared it with garlic and butter, so that was a whole different way to do it. But this is, I just thought people would enjoy this. Is an unusual banana. Another one of our resources that needs to be spread out, and discovered. So there's
look at all those shirts. I think we should move the camera around to see this army.
Sure.
Stay here a second. We'll be right back. Hang on. Look at that. All these kids. Wow. Well, it's great that you're running, a winner and a loser. I think the only people that are losers are the ones that don't participate. This kind of dialogue, no matter who wins and loses, it's how thoughtful are we going to make all of us and how active we are. I recognize that you're running to win, and I wish you the best. You are the deciding factor in who sits in the seat. But I think that the fact that dialogue is all the time, and these elections are good benchmarks to kind of guide us as we're moving through life. But, isn't it nice to know that someone, besides running to get you to pull a lever, is there and caring and active? It's really been a pleasure speaking with you. I hope we can do this again.
Mahalo, Jason. I really appreciate it, and it's fun being with you. And mahalo for all the good things that you've done over the years.
Thank you.
Really.
And a lot more. And I want to see more of you getting involved. So remember, again, you probably see the name going across a bunch of times. John Blumer-Buell, State Senate District number 6. Wow. And if you see it on the ballot, then if you want to vote for John Blumer-Buell, you can vote for him. If you don't see him on the ballot, you can still like him, come up to him, and we all are a part of a great community here. Thank you very, very much for joining us.
Mahalo.
A pleasure. And thank you for joining us.
Aloha.
See you again. Aloha.
No matter where you go, no matter what you do, take that Maui style with you. Cause if you ain't Maui styling, you just living on an island. Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 There is sunshine in your heart. It's been with you from the start. Lift your head, look to the heavens, then you will feel brand new again. Don't stop me now, Maui styling, don't let me down. 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 Reach out your hand and help each other. Your mother, your father, your sister and brother. There is love in this family. Pick yourself up and get on.